Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Introspect with me, Sharon Mwangi. If you're new here, karibu sana, feel at home. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. So as you can see today, we are outside. We are outside today. I just thought it would be nice to have a different feel. Change sometimes is good. And today it's just a beautiful day to be outside. So I thought, why not just record the video today outside? And kama kawaida, the first two questions of the day, that is, how have I been and what am I grateful for? How have I been? I've been good. I have had a good week. Yeah, I can say I've had an okay, good kind of week. What am I grateful for? I got another opportunity to go to a boys' high school, to talk to the students. And it was really nice. It was all the way in Kajiado County, and it was really nice. Na kama kawaida lazima tungekula kanyama. So yes, I had a very, very, very amazing time with the young men. And yeah, so let's get straight into today's video, into today's topic. So like for the past 2 weeks, this month of June, we have been doing something we call cognitive distortions. We've been looking at something we call cognitive distortions. And basically these are just like negative thought patterns that we have as human beings that are very inaccurate, and they come from very little evidence, or it's just a very negative way of thinking, negative thought patterns and belief systems. Yeah, and we've been looking at some of them. So today we're going to look at other two, some of my favorites, because these are some of the cognitive distortions that I didn't even think they were wrong thing to do, and I think a lot of us also don't know it's a wrong thing to do. So yeah, let's get straight into them and look at them. So the first one we're going to look at today is something we call mental filtering, and the second one is what we call discounting the positives. So kama kawaida, we start with the definitions. So the definition of mental filtering is fixating and dwelling on one side of a situation while denying and refusing to acknowledge the contradictory evidence. Let me repeat that again. Fixating and dwelling on one side of a situation while denying or refusing to acknowledge contradictory evidence. So basically, this is like when you take one situation and then instead of seeing it from a holistic point of view, you only choose to focus on one side and you deny the evidence of the other side. Let me give an example. So back in 2019, this is a quick story time, just to throw it out there. Yeah, so back in 2019, I was dating this guy. And this was the kind of guy who everyone had something negative to say. Everyone had something negative to say about this guy. So even before I started dating this guy, so many people had already come to me and told me like, hey, this guy is not a good person. He does this and he says this. But I didn't listen. I was like, you guys don't know him like I do. You only seen the negative side. You guys don't even know the positives about this guy, and all of that. And when we started dating, the story didn't stop there. People would still come and tell me, oh, this guy is going out here and he's making fun of you, and he's not saying accurate things like about you, and he's even denying you in public. He's saying he does not have somebody. I'm like, no, guys are liars. Mimi nimekuja kunivunjia boma, shindwe katika jina la Yesu. And let me tell you, that was looking back, that was a very tough and a very dark season. Very tough and very dark season. So that's just an example of mental filtering. So there are two examples, or rather two types of mental filtering. That is where you focus on the positives only, and the other one where you focus on the negatives only. For example, in my situation, I chose to only focus on the positive, and I was not willing to acknowledge the negatives of my situation. Like, I was so willing to see the positive qualities that this person had. I was so ready to see the positive things that this person would do, but I would completely ignore all the negative feedback I was getting from people. And even when my then partner would do something negative to me, I would filter it out and be like, no, it's just a one-time thing, it's not really like that, he's not like that for real, I can't give it, he's just having a bad day, Oh my gosh, the ghetto. Anyway, so for my situation, I was focusing on the positives only without assessing the negatives. as well. And there's the other one where you only focus on the negatives, where you do not take the time to look at the positive things. For example, you're always looking down on yourself, you have a lot of negative self-talk, you're always seeing the mistakes you're making, you're always seeing the mistakes other people are making, and rarely do you even take the time to acknowledge and even notice the good things that are happening for yourself or even to other people, or the good things that other people are doing. For example, if you've ever had a boss or a parent or just someone who's in authority and is a perfectionist and they always see the negative, I mean, those are very difficult people to be around and to deal with, because they always make you feel as though there's nothing good you're doing. Like you're always on the wrong. Hawezi find anything right. You're always doing something wrong. You're always saying something wrong. And they will never take the time to acknowledge the good that you're doing. So I think this is something that is very common. It's just that we do not know it, because people who tend to be like, who have that mental filtering of, they always see the negatives, it's kind of seen like you're very pessimistic. You know, you're always seeing the downside of things. You never see the beauty of life. Like, what if something good that has just happened, but he or she will just like find something very small and very wrong that has happened, and identify like the very small, tiny things that are not going right, and hawataki hata kuona the good side of anything. Oh, I've just remembered an example of mental filtering for seeing the positives only. So I've been in spaces where I've interacted with schools a lot, and one of the complaints that I hear that some teachers usually complain about is that when a student does something wrong and it warrants like a parent being called, the parents are not ready to acknowledge the negative that their child has done. So they kind of tend to see their child in this light of like, oh, my child is perfect. They would never do that. Probably someone else's child. You're the one with the problem, you know, so they cannot see anything wrong that their child can. They don't see their child like they can ever do anything wrong. And I think that's a very difficult way also to see life and to live life, because not everyone is perfect. Not everyone will always do the right thing. Sometimes it's okay to also look at the flip side and assess the situation and see, yenyewe kumbe the person I thought was perfect isn't really perfect. Or even ourselves, sometimes you think you're the ones who are perfect. Sometimes you think you're Madam Perfect or Mr. Perfect. Sometimes you think that everything that you do is right and you're okay, and that there's nothing wrong with you, that you are a working God. You know that there's nothing you would ever do wrong. But the honest truth is that as human beings, you have that flip side as well. Sometimes you do things right and sometimes you do things wrong. I think it's just like an eye-opener for all of us to get to a point where we're like, okay, let me assess the situation. Let me not lean so much on the positives and discount the negative side. And also let me not lean too much on the negative and also like discount the positive side. And the second one, the second cognitive distortion we're going to look at today is something we call discounting the positives. And basically the definition is this: rejecting positive experiences by insisting they do not count. You reject positive experiences by insisting they do not count. Like, this is for my people who think that you acknowledging the good things you have done is a way of bragging or being proud. You know, like the way when someone compliments you for something, they're like, oh my gosh, you've done such a good job. And your first statement is like, oh, you know, I would have done better. You know, anyone could have done it. I mean, it was just luck. And you know, something like that. Like, you try to discount the positives that you have done and you try to dismiss them as, you know, luck, or it's just by luck that I did it, or anyone could have done it, ama hata sikufanya vizuri hivyo, hata ikuwa poa hivyo, hata sijuangi kuimba hivyo sana, hata sijuangi kudance hivyo sana. Like, you're always finding reasons to like negate the positive things that you've already done or the achievements that you already have. And I think it comes from a point of, I don't know who lied to us, that you acknowledging the good things that you have done or you acknowledging the positive achievements that you have done is a way of bragging. I don't know who told us that when you acknowledge that, oh yes, I am a good doctor, or I am a good engineer, or I'm good at what I do, I'm good in my career, I'm good in my skill, I'm a good footballer, I'm artist or whatever, when you acknowledge it, sometimes we are made to feel as though you're bragging, but the honest truth is that you're not. You're just acknowledging the facts. If I'm good at something, I'm good at it. If I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful. And it's not bragging. Like, I don't know, if I say my name is Sharon Mangi and I think I'm very beautiful, I don't think that is bragging. I just think I'm just speaking facts. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I think we've been put in spaces and situations to think that acknowledging the positive things or the positive achievements that you have done is like a way of bragging. But don't get me wrong, there's a difference between acknowledging your achievements and bragging and making others feel little or belittling others because of your achievements. Like, when you get to a point now you're belittling others and you're making others feel inadequate, now that's the problem. That's where now you have crossed the line. But if you're basically just in a situation where you are acknowledging the achievements that you have done, I don't think there's something wrong with that. And I think we should get over this mindset of, if I am saying or acknowledging the achievements that I have made so far, or if I'm congratulating myself, or I'm giving myself a pat on the back, as in like that's a form of bragging or being proud. No, I mean, it's okay for me to congratulate myself when I achieve something, and it's fine for me to reward myself. It's all right for me to say that, yeah, I made this achievement, and it's okay, as long as I am not making other people feel little, or I'm not making other people feel like they're less than because of my achievements. Then, I mean, it's about time we start to congratulate ourselves. If you are not proud of yourself, if you're not clapping for yourself, are you going to wait for others to clap for you? No. Take the time to embrace and enjoy your achievements. I mean, congratulate yourself. You put in the hard work, you did such a great job, and you know the hustle that you put in it. So if you did something good and it turned out well, then guess what? You're not a horrible human being for acknowledging that. So the introspection question for the week is, which of these two cognitive distortions, that is mental filtering or discounting the positives, are you guilty of? Just assess yourself. Jiulize, ni wapi ninakuanga nina struggle sana, and what can you do about it just to make sure you do better, or you get out of that mental process and you get out of that kind of thought process. Yeah, so I think with that, that's the end of our video for today. And even before I end the video, there's a quick announcement that I want to throw out there. So I'm very excited, very, very excited to share this with you guys. So I have collaborated with another mental health advocate. His name is Motubi Gitonga, to come up with a mental health advocacy, a brand or company called Mental Spectrum Kenya. And I am very excited about it because we are planning really amazing things for you guys. And the first thing that we'll be having this month is our first mental health focused event. And that will be a nature walk in Tigoni. It will be happening on the 29th of June, and I'm going to share the details with you guys on my social media. Yeah, and I hope you guys take the time to actually look at it, and if you're interested, please join me. We are going to have such an amazing time. We're planning to do amazing activities. The theme of the nature walk is self-discovery and self-awareness, so we're going to have so many fun activities that are going to help us know a little bit more about ourselves, to understand who we are, to understand why we are the way we are. We're going to do a personality test as well. We're going to have fun activities. We're going to go through the beautiful trails of Tigoni, and if you know how beautiful Tigoni is, trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Hey, trust me, you do not want to miss this, because Tigoni is such a beautiful place. We're going to also do some mindfulness meditation. Trust me, utatoka hapo tu feel like you're so at peace and so calm and like umejijua, umejifahamu. So yeah, I'll share the details. And please come one, come all, come many, share it with your friends, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys there. Yeah, so with that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.